It's mid-August and we're gonna plant some carrots.
A key to good carrots is really nice, loose soil, so they can easily just grow straight down without having to work their way through thick compacted clay soil or whatever. Where I used to live, there was a lot more sand in the soil and our carrots grew really, really well. Out here, it's very high clay content, and so I amend the soil with some perlite or something that I can get my hands on to really loosen it up.
I raked all this out a couple days ago, and now I'm going to get it really, really soaking wet. Carrots take a while to germinate, and so if the soil, when you prepare it, you get it really wet, it tends to hold that moisture longer, and you'll have more success with your germination. Use this bamboo stick to make a little trench. Not sure if you can see it, but that's where I'll be planting my little carrot seeds. I'm trying to space them about 1 inch apart, but sometimes more go down. I know that I won't have time to thin these once school starts, which is coming up in 3 weeks. And if my rate of germination is really low, I'll just go ahead and fill in with radishes or something that grows really fast. I won't waste that space. I'm just gonna barely press them down in there. I don't want to cover them with real deep soil.
The seed is so small, I just planted about 1/4 inch down.
Here's my first row, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Row number 2. All right, all done. Got 10 rows of carrots. And there's 70 seeds in each row. Yes, one of them I did count. I kind of want to know what kind of harvest I could get out of here if we have good germination rate. So 70 seeds, 10 rows, 700 carrots, pretty good. So I did plant this bed 2 days ago, and I'm just gonna lightly, as if it were raining, give it a good sprinkle since the sun's out. I didn't worry about it yesterday because it was super overcast. But I do not want the top layer of the soil to dry. We've had such a cool summer with so much overcast that I really didn't think that was gonna be a deal. I'm so happy. I'll be putting in some onion transplants. They're just some green onions that we can enjoy through the fall and spring. In between the 2 rows, I'm just planting the onions. I'm just popping a hole, just putting a hole in with my pin, popping the onions into the hole. Carrots really do well with onions. They repel carrot flies, so I like to put them both in the same beds. And we actually get a lot of food doing this. I've got the onion starts that I grew between the rows of carrots, and this is ready to go. If I hadn't planted the onions in between the carrot rows, I would probably put down some board or cardboard and then just check it every couple days to check for germination, because that would keep the soil nice and damp and cool.
The absolute key to germinating carrots when it's warmed up is keeping the soil damp the whole time. If that topsoil dries out, the carrot seeds will die. Ah man, a deer walked through my bed. I've got this little net up around this bed, and then there's a briar fence around there, and then we've got more net. Well, apparently I didn't have it very secure, did I? The camera does not pick it up, but they're finally starting to germinate. I think it's been about 10 days since I planted these guys. So that's not too bad for germination to occur. The quickest germination for carrots I've ever seen is when I've done winter sowing them, putting them in the milk jugs, and then taping them off. They germinate so fast in that method, or they did for me. I think the temperature must have been perfect. They really like between 60 and 70 degrees to germinate. I don't like to then prick them out and individually plant them. I just don't have the patience for that. I really like to direct seed them. So that's why I did the direct seeding. Carrots really do well with a high potassium, high phosphorus fertilizer, low nitrogen. So I like to make a compost tea with seaweed and shellfish, and I also like to sprinkle some ash in the dirt, just a little bit, and it seems to really do well. If you don't know how to make a compost tea or a plant tea, I'll go ahead and leave a link to a seaweed tea that I made. I'll leave a link to that down in the description below. You can check it out if you're interested. It's super easy, and free basically. Well, that's all I've got for today. So until next time, see ya.